All right, let's count this down. All right. All right, ready?
Me, son.
Oh wait, is there like a countdown sound on the soundboard?
Yeah, we're starting like that. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Good, Great, Perfect. It's the first episode of the new podcast, primarily based on OPTC, but we talk about other gacha games too. I got with me the big man, Reddit loves him, Toadski.
Yo, what's going on, my broskies? Let's get it.
I got the big man. We're all big men in this call, which is crazy to think about. I got the other big man. He loves furries. He also loves Kara, but hasn't pulled her yet. Joba.
What's up? I'm the only one who hasn't, I think, in this whole chat. Everyone feels bad, man.
No one. Joba doesn't even react to the fact I just called him a furry outright.
Nah,
regardless, we got the other big man. No one likes him. It's Dilba.
Oh, cheers. What's going on, guys?
And we got my right-hand man, the only funny part of this whole podcast, Cobby.
What's going on, my broski? Oh, wait. Hold on. Pause.
Shadow Clone Jutsu.
Oh, dear. All right, so to break it down with you guys, this is going to be like an OPTC-style podcast. Probably about like an hour and a half long is probably the plan that we're going to go with. However,
the target.
Yeah, that's the target. We might end up dipping for 2.5 hours. It might be 30 minutes. No one knows what's happening. We might just start rambling.
30 minutes, it's an episode.
Dude, I'm down. See you guys.
It's the pilot.
This is the pilot ep. So, if we just want to run through kind of what we're going to be talking about today, we had a plan, but there's been a lot of news in OPTC in the last week and a half to 2 weeks.
On both sides of the game.
Oh yeah,
to be
for
honest.
real. Oh, also, no Nightmare again. You know
feels bad.
He's dead. His internet still doesn't work properly enough to come into a voice call. So that sucks. But what can you do? So yeah, to run through the plan, we're gonna I think we can cut introductions aside. We're all pretty useless people, pretty boring. So we can kind of talk about where we are in the game, what's happening in terms of in our game and stuff. I think Cobby put some good things into what we want to talk about. We're going to be distributing this podcast on Anchor.fm as well. So you're going to be able to hear it on Spotify for the moment, I believe. But Cobby was looking into it, and Anchor.fm actually offers the opportunity for viewers to send us in questions via voice recording, and then we can add them into the podcast itself. So for the next episode, by all means, send a question there. We also have a Twitter. It's Good, Great, Perfect, or at GGP Podcast.
Some of you have already found.
Yeah, some of you guys have already found it. Some of you guys already subscribed to the YouTube channel, which is Good, Great, Perfect as well. And we'll just go from there. So let's go from the global side first, as you know, all of us are global players. Yeah. Just get right into it. So Barter Cav Sugo. What do we think? What's happening? How are we feeling about it? It's part 2 at the moment, I believe.
Yeah.
How do we feel?
Dude, I'm actually kind of pissed the way that they structured the 12th multi. How they advertise it as, they got a significant rate up on the 12th multi, and then you have a look at the 12th multi, and it's 30% chance.
30%.
Yeah, but the thing is,
I would have thought for sure it would have been 50.
Yeah, they're saying that just because every other one's 15% chance to pull. So technically it's significantly higher than the other legends you can pull, but still it's kind of dodgy.
In the grand scheme of things, it's still 70% chance you're not going to get them.
That is
true.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's still dodgy, but you can see where they're coming from.
I just feel if they went out of their way to do it, they should have just made it guaranteed, honestly. I think if they made it guaranteed, I think a lot more people would have
guaranteed
pulled.
After 15 would have been ideal.
If they'd said 15 multis for the guaranteed, would you guys have all done it?
100%.
I would have done
it.
100%.
I would have gone for a dupe.
I feel the thing is I feel obviously it's not necessarily good business practice in terms of wanting to generate revenue. Having something guaranteed after X amount of multis and everyone pulls that amount of multis, they're going to make more money if it's not guaranteed. Although 15 multis is still a lot of gems at the end of the day. You're burning a lot.
Yeah, and the thing is even 12 multis for people like us, I'm going to use us Australians as an example, is we're paying basically dollar for dollar for the gem packs.
Yeah.
Dollar per gem, which is really frustrating.
Yeah. So it's it gets to the point where if you want to say 15 multis for a guaranteed, let's say Barter Cav, for example, we're burning 750 gems. If you count the the discount, you're looking at what, $730, which is like $730, which like if for one unit, like, you know, it's weird that we justify that and say, yeah, like that's fair. Like I would be happy to do that, which is crazy.
It's the mentality we've gotten into after playing the game for 3 years. It's like, oh well, we have to expect to spend money to actually progress.
Yes.
It's bad that's a mindset. Like, oh, I'm willing to spend upwards of $500 to get this one character that'll help me for the next month max.
Yeah, month. I think Todd actually retweeted or like subtweeted or like commented on some guy's tweet. He was talking about like Pokemon Masters, and like he was like he didn't realize how expensive it is to play gacha games. And I'm just sitting back and I'm like, like hello.
I'll pull up the tweet because it was actually ridiculous. Yeah, so it was Game Boy Luke, who for those who don't know is a pretty big Pokemon YouTuber, and for he himself playing a game like this, he doesn't usually play gacha games at all, and for his audience it would be something like a new experience for them. And basically he did I think it was the guaranteed 5-star multi where you could only use paid gems. So obviously he spent money on the game, and then people were complaining that he was making a video about spending money on this game, saying that he was like advertising gambling to kids or some bullshit. Like it's just a joke. Like, people need to chill out.
Yeah, people take it way too seriously.
Going back to the Barter and Cavendish Sugo, though, I will say those gem packs were pretty fire.
They were really good.
They're the best gem packs we've had in a little while.
Mm-hmm. Like, I bought the gem packs, and I didn't even like. I'm only doing the discounted multis on every single part. I'm just stocking up on the gems.
I bought the gem packs and used them, and luckily got Barter Cav.
Yeah, lucky as
juicy.
They're the highest boosted though. You got to appreciate. It's not a high rate, but they are the highest boosted.
I got them on the 10th multi too. So
I heard a lot of people actually got them on the 10th though.
Yeah, because it was a limited pool, and then the 12th was a super limited pool.
Okay.
I pulled 3 Shiki, which was really shitting me because it had the exact same rate as Barter Cavendish, and I pulled Shiki in my first multi. And I'm like, are you friggin' kidding me? Like,
could have been
not okay. But like, I didn't get like. I think Don Sai's rate was shit. I only pulled 1, and that was on the 10th multi as well.
Well, like I heard it from heaps of people that like the rare recruit units rate was crazy. Like I think people were rainbowing them out of like on the 15. They're getting like rainbowed rare recruits.
Oh, like I pulled 6 Elisabello.
Damn.
But yeah, I could only put 1 Don Sai.
I got a Dale and Elisabello and just a discount.
Yeah,
that's so good. That's actually really. See, I didn't touch the Sugo at all.
I was lucky enough to get a Dale on my second discount, which is objectively the best of the batch, which I'm really happy about.
I kind of like went in, bought the gem packs, and said, I'm just going to hold on to this. Because I know, like, what's coming up in the future. Like, we can probably talk about that, actually, like, moving forward. Like, we have, obviously, Treasure Map Doflamingo. We'll probably come back to that and talk about that a little bit. But in terms of Sugo Fest, Treasure Map Doffy, and then we have Zora Mihawk is actually next, but we could potentially see a global first legend because
I reckon we could see Bullet with the release of.
Do you think Bullet they'll do that jump?
Yeah, but just mainly because it's not so much of a big deal for them to release movie legends in Treasure Cruise anymore. Like it used to be. Really, we have such a massive delay compared to the Japanese version, but with the release of the Bullet movie coming to America, next week?
I think so. I think
that's it's coming to Australia in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So I can see them releasing Bullet and a whole event around that. So
I didn't even think about that
personally. Oh, what were we going to say, Dribble?
No, I didn't even think about that they could potentially do that, but I don't know. They're too strong for right now.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
In my personal opinion, I think that the new Psy Luffy will be our anniversary legend.
Oh,
I hate that. Ugh.
I could like that makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense.
It does, but I honestly think
I don't want that to happen.
That's what I'm not. I won't pull for. Like it's a legend that's by himself, and
no, he's got a badge.
Does he really? I haven't looked that much into it.
Yeah, he's got a badge.
Frankie
as well.
So I'll probably do like the 3 gems for the batch then, and then I'll just leave it at that. If I don't get him, I don't give a shit. Unlike Barter Cav, that was one I like really wanted, and that's just because I love dual legends so much. Like those are my favorite legends in the game.
I'd prefer to just like pull on the Sugo prior, which was the Treasure Map Sugo with Bullet's debut, and that Treasure Map Sugo was a 2 times legend, right?
I know. Yeah. Which is like
Bullet is like so much better.
But we're very lucky, in the sense that like we know now that Bullet's coming out. and then we have this randomized Luffy, and then Bullet 6+ as well. So
Yeah.
all of the global can be prepared for
Well-
for that to happen.
I was just thinking, what if on global they release Luffy first?
I wouldn't
Then they
pull.
do Bullet.
I wouldn't I don't see myself like pulling personally. Like I don't see it as worthwhile in
Yeah,
comparison to Bullet. Like that's what I'm doing now. Like going back to like the Sugo Fest coming up, like TM, then it should be in theory it should be Zoro Mihawk. They're both really good units, but for personally, I don't see myself bothering. But
See,
then
I love
after that
slashes.
though,
So
we
I
have
might
some
do like between 3 and 6 for that
Yeah.
for those guys because I really do love the slashes. Like when I first started was I started pretty early on. Like I think I was a month or two out of the global release. So slashes were the top of the food chain when it came to classes.
The only time in the prime.
Exactly. So I played with slashes until I think until Sengoku got buffed. I was playing with slashes, and it was my favorite class. And just because I got really lucky when I first started, I got the Arlong, the Vista, and all that stuff, like the good slasher characters you needed. So I might pull on that Sugo for them, but I don't see myself going in like I did for Barter Cavendish.
Yeah, 100%. It's like it's hard to think about it. Like they're good, but then to think what's coming after that though. You know, like your Luffy Law,
Yeah.
Big Mom V2, and their batch is crazy.
And then Saba Koala.
Saba Koala, which could come before or after. We don't know what their schedule is.
I was just looking at the calendar to see like where characters could be released.
That's the hard part.
The thing is, right, is like Global has received so many legends like early, which makes the timing of everything else much weirder.
Yeah.
Like the fact that we got Cat Dog early, we got Dex Sabo early, which was actually debuted on this treasure map Sugo that should be coming up.
Which is going to ruin TM for a lot of people if they don't like give Sabo the boost that he got on JP, which he most likely won't get. So
or what I was saying in one of the other discords earlier in the week was they could release a global first legend that also works with the treasure map units. I would still be okay with that, to be honest.
It's time for a V2 Kizaru. It's time. He deserves it.
Just give
My
Log
poor
Luffy
boy.
6+.
No. Fuck Log Luffy.
Oh,
give me. He's our banner. He's our icon for our channel. But I don't give a shit. No, it's time. He deserves something good. He's the embodiment of feels bad.
Yeah, going on treasure map stuff. So for the Doflamingo treasure map, the highest rate boosted legend for that's supposed to be V2, V3 Sabo.
Yes.
Yeah, correct.
Do we think we're going to get the Garp treatment and he's not going to be the highest point booster again?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Well, as long as he's 1.35, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Like as long as he's like
should be
above
at least.
the natural boosted, I'll be okay.
He should be at least 1.35, but he probably won't be.
Yeah, I reckon they'll. I could really see them bringing out like a new a global first legend or like another legend that doesn't somewhat benefit at all like Sabo does. That's gonna fuck us over like what happened with Garp, and it's like it's harder to run.
Because I believe when Treasure Map Shanks came out, which is what Garp was used for, we had Dex Sabo at the time, and he was a high booster.
Yeah,
the boosted units didn't work with him.
Yeah,
it's time to get Garp. Garp's gonna be higher booster than
it was so bullshit.
Yeah, so I think some of the teams we had to use like the rare, like if you're lucky enough to pull the limited rare recruit boosters, and then you had to use like Garp on the team as a sub.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like ridiculous. It was and like that only lasted like I think to like 20 runs or something like that.
Something like that. Well, I guess like the issue with giving a global first legend for TM is that like in theory it doesn't have to, but in theory it should. Like their captain ability should benefit the TM rare recruit units.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what's hard about it, because Sabo worked. I'm from my memory, like ideally with the TM rare recruit unit.
I don't think so. No, Sabo didn't work at all.
I don't recall.
Oh, for real?
No, he didn't work. Because the reason why Garp was good because he got rid of the special bind and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just looking. I'm looking through my old video right now of what I used against the final boss. I used a double Wako team and then Garp sub.
Yeah, see, that's what I used as well.
I remember that. Yeah, so that's crazy.
Do you guys think they're gonna keep the guaranteed TM rare recruits on the 3rd and 9th instead of 2nd and 5th.
I mean, that's
Oh.
what Japan's had though, but Japan's had some wild stuff.
See,
though.
I only think the reason why they did that was because of Cracker. It was
I
going
hope
to be the
so.
highest booster as well, so I can still see them being guaranteed on the 3rd, and then the other one is going to be literally just a low chance to get.
But I mean,
feel
like,
like-
we've had a time where they've released 3 treasure map like rare recruit characters. I'm
3,
counting
5.
Cracker as like a treasure map rare recruit character, and like remember with Kaido treasure map, we had
Yes.
Apu Hawkins and Kid, where
Mhm.
2 of them were guaranteed, and
Yeah,
then the other one you couldn't get.
Yeah, and
But
that's
it was
what.
2 and 5.
Yeah, that's what.
Treasure
And
map
that's what I
Shanks as
meant.
well.
Hopefully, it's not. Yeah, but I really hope they don't keep it at 9 because 9's way too expensive
Yeah.
to do. Like, because that's at least once a month, sometimes twice if they've got nothing coming out.
And they're useful only that time.
Mhm.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because they've basically screwed us now. Whereas the treasure map characters don't work for the treasure map immediately after the ones they're good for. They go back down to just a generic
They
booster.
automatically get relegated to 1.2 boosters.
It's
which
like,
is all-
well, it makes them less valuable.
correct.
Okay, well here's a question then. So I believe Bullet was treasure map smoker for Japan, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So Bullet and the boosters were actually Bullet's batch.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what would you guys prefer? Like obviously, like we probably all know the obvious answer, but would you prefer to have like a legend come out every TM that has a batch is the rate boosted batch? Would you prefer to have a TM Sugo that doesn't have a new legend but has TM rare recruit units?
I'd rather the batch because they usually have the batches are usually rated higher.
And
others?
yeah, the batch units are easy to get. Also, the fact that batch units can
Are
be
useful.
used everywhere, not
Yeah.
like treasure map units where they have specials that are specifically for the treasure map.
Yeah.
It
And
is
they
what
should
it is.
last longer. Like if you use a whole batch that works together, like it'll last for way longer nav levels.
Yeah.
Which
Exactly.
means you're
Yeah,
probably
true.
getting more bang for your buck when you're spending your gems then as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like I'd be okay with that, but then maybe like you get one of the batch units guaranteed on multi 2, and that's it.
Yeah, but
I'd still be okay with that.
But if you start doing stuff like that, then they're gonna make them lower rated.
It would make them worse. Either worse, the unit itself will be worse, or their rate will be worse. I feel like the regular rate for like a legend in their batch is pretty decent at times. Like it's not their batch isn't necessarily like terrible. Like, unless we have like V2 Germa, that was weird.
Yeah, that was.
That was a very niche case because they didn't have 4-star units. Yeah.
Yeah, but neither do treasure map rare recruits anymore.
Correct. Yeah.
So
And they're very hard to pull. Yeah.
Okay, so then let's.
But like the
change
thing
it.
is with a batch, because like the bullet in their batch, they had 4 and 5-star versions, so that
Well,
was
like,
still really
alright.
easy to pull.
So let's
And that's
say,
the same with
let's say
the
batch
shaky
and
batch as well.
5-star. Let's
Yeah.
say batch and 5-star. Let's say the rare recruit itself doesn't have a 4-star anymore.
Ooh.
Would you go batch and like a legend and 5-star only, or would you go TM rare recruit that have 4 and 5-star?
TM rare recruit then.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
What if it gives us a higher rate to pull them? And that's the thing. Like I again, it still does bring up the issue that like they're not going to be useful after that.
Yeah.
But if they're more accessible, then I'm down for it. You know what I mean? Like
I just think back to like V2 Rayleigh Sugo Fest and V2 Shank Sugo Fest. There were treasure map Sugos, and they were like the rates on those Sugo Fests were actually really good. Like the debut legend had easily the highest rate compared to every other legend that you could possibly pull. And the treasure map rare recruit characters, I believe one of them was still guaranteed on multi 2, and then the other one was just like rate boosted for parts 2 and 3. I think it was.
Yeah.
Which I actually like that structure. It worked well, and the boosters were boosted for more than one map.
Yeah, I think that change is much more significant than the change to the Sugo Fest structure, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I think planning is important. Like these last couple of TM, like the TM boosted lists have been actually terrible.
Oh yeah, they've been bad, really
Like,
bad.
I really gets me thinking, like, who in the back end is like designing? Like, are they thinking about the high end teams that like people like Lay are thinking about, like the nav level like 200 plus teams? How are they like? What kind of mentality do they have when it comes to designing the TM, like the TM boosted list? It's kind of just like
you got to think as well that like with a community like us, we're like hardcore players. We want to rank up as high as possible. I think for the generic player, treasure map isn't that bad, To be quite honest,
like
it's just we like to spend the money and get as high rank as possible.
Yeah,
Of course.
if we're being honest with ourselves, treasure map is probably the most time. It's the one time we focus the most on the game.
Yeah.
It's like
by far.
because after treasure map, like I take like 3 days off, only log in for the gems and stuff, and I only farm the events when I have time, and that might mean I like the event might come out say on a Monday and it leaves on Saturday. I might not farm it till Friday or Thursday. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
So for treasure map is my favorite thing to play in this game now. I like as much as like I complain about. I know I do. It's a grind, but it's kind of rewarding, especially with the tablets and stuff.
No, of course.
Yeah,
That satisfaction of seeing a Rainbow Legend, even though like it doesn't to like the average player doesn't really mean much, but like to people that actually spend a lot of time and money on the game, that Rainbow Legend is kind of like that gratification of saying, all right, you've completed one thing, now you can save or you can start working on the next thing, and like it's a progressive system.
Yeah, and for the most part, all of us, we try and make sure we stay within the top 100, make sure we get the most amount of tablets we can get.
Yeah, exactly. Like it all obviously, like the generic response for a lot of people, but I don't have time, blah blah, and like that's fine. But I feel like there's really no excuse when people say like, let's take like, sorry to put you on the spot, Todd, but let's take like your streams or like stuff like that. Like people that like in chat that might mention, hey, I'm gonna skip this TM. Like I never understand the mentality.
I never get it either because I never get it because if people skip treasure maps and then it comes to a point where like they need to take on a Colosseum or they need to take on a new raid boss and it's like, oh, you need this treasure map character. Oh, I skipped that one. Well, it's your own fault. You skipped the treasure map.
So
you
Todd,
dummy.
I've got a question for you. How often have you seen someone? So you made a breakdown like of a treasure map saying when it's coming, and then say, oh, I'm actually going to skip this one. And then when you upload a video, so let's say a month later, and how often has it been you've seen the exact same person that said they skipped that treasure map say, oh, is there a replacement for this character in this team?
I haven't really looked for comments like that specifically, but it happens.
Yeah,
but like I get that sometimes people are busy and they can't farm it, which is fine. And obviously, like it's not their main game. People have other things to do. They might play console games, and this might just be a side game to them. So if they skip out on a treasure map, it probably doesn't mean much. Like I play Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, but I never farmed the World Tournament, so I never get their reward cards or anything. But I don't care too much about it personally. But I mean, if you want to be able to beat all the content, you got to get the free-to-play units.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the same when before treasure map we had like the Fortnites, and even with Colosseums, people to this day say, "Oh, is there replacements for these units?" Like, dude, they're free to play. Take
replacement for Colosseum Kid.
Oh my! We need to get Meme Machine on the. We need to get Meme Machine. In one of these episodes. We really need to get him on and have a chat with him about that whole mentality, because that's I agree though. Like it's hard. Like obviously Todd. We've like all of us have discussed in terms of like when it comes to making TM like teams, the Todd's vid or like any kind of those free to play videos is like a basis. Like a lot of people should copy those teams exactly, put them in their planner, and then if they have the rare recruits or they have TM or they have legends or whatever they might have to add, that's when they should themselves, go through and update their teams to get more points or to be stronger or last longer. Like it takes a lot of time. I know how many times Todd's come into like Discord. He's like, I can't think of a free to play team for this thing, and everyone starts brainstorming. And no one can think of it because it's challenging to always come up with free to play teams or like because of the fact that TM bosses a lot of the time do very niche like side effects. They might chain you specifically for X amount of turns,
Yeah, and that's where the most recent Colosseums and batches come into play, because I usually have one or more options to actually take away these effects that 100%. Get given to you.
TC has turned into this game where it's a progressive system. So let's say something comes out in August, you have to, if you don't find what comes out in August, you're gonna be put behind for September. Okay, now you're behind in September. There's new content in October that requires the September content, but you couldn't farm the September content because you didn't farm the August, and then it just becomes this constant system where you stay behind.
Or you spend money and you pull the new batch and then you're good.
Get this man out of here.
The funny thing is, the way that it works is that if there is not so if there's not a free-to-play option to take it out, or if you don't have the free-to-play option, there is probably a rare recruit in the pool that you haven't got yet that will help you. So that's where they try and get it to that point. So yeah, the free-to-play option might resist. This is just an example. Special silence for 2 turns, but the rare recruit resists it for 3.
So
So
then
you have
3
to
covers
stall
the
one
whole.
turn.
Yeah, exactly. Makes it faster, makes it more efficient.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
is what they're designing for, obviously.
But trying to get back to treasure map anyway. It doesn't take that long to farm 1 million points to get the copies to rainbow the unit.
Especially because we have at least 4 days on average now.
I think as well that what people don't understand is you have to try and like put all of your point boosters like on the back end so that you're against the final boss with your biggest multiplier. If you try and distribute your points evenly, that's not the way to do it. The final boss gives you the most amount of points, so you want the highest multiplier. So
and it's like
it doesn't really matter what your mid boss teams are. They can be like literally you could put non-boosted units there just to help you beat it.
And if you have the base straw hats, you've got a half decent team. Like
even like 5+ Luffy's a good captain. Like he's a decent captain that will last you for the 1 mil points.
Yeah, and like I see people like bitching on like Facebook groups and stuff like that, which is hilarious to me. Like I love reading them and like to see them bitching about people.
Hit him with the bra. Hit him with the
Bruh.
Well, yeah. Anyway, the other day I was actually on the global blog group, and anyway, they were ragging on Todd so hard, and I'm reading it, and I'm laughing, and he's like, "Oh, his treasure map teams are shit. Use my one. This is it." I'm like, it took everything in my power not just to say, "Dude, this is where you start, and then you add to." Like it's not. He's like, Todd has built it so you've got a generic teams that'll more or less deal with the side effects that deal with the effects that the units give you, and then you can just add to it as you please. But he didn't understand it. And all he did, and now I go in there maybe like once a week or something, and I check he's got something new to bitch about Todd, something new to bitch about. He's shit. He only does this. I'm like,
Same as me though.
It's like, mate, just do. If you think he's that bad, then stop watching his video. You're literally like, oh, he made a new video. Let me watch it to see how shit he is.
He's my biggest fan.
Thanks for the views, dude.
Yeah, thanks for the money piece. That's what it is. But like, I guess like that's where like you kind of come into the idea of the game where like you look at the top players. Like obviously you have the top player like Leilu. Obviously number 1. He farms efficiently. He has probably one of the best team building minds. But then you also look at people like Justin Higaki. Shout out Justin. Like he probably is most likely the best team builder in
honestly, I think someone who's really underrated in terms of building teams is Snook.
Snook is
a god.
The free-to-play god. Straight up. He has
Well, yeah, whenever I'm stumped for teams and stuff, I always go to Justin like, hey man, I'm really struggling with this team for this. Like, this doesn't happen as often as it used to, but like, yeah, I'll go to Justin, hey man, I'm looking for either to speed up this team or can this team get a higher point booster with the units I have? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just when I'm absolutely stumped, and he's always like, yeah, sure, now he go, just adjust this unit and it'll be better. I'm like, oh shit, okay.
When you don't think of that though. That's
exactly. Yeah, when I was going for top 10 in NL, I was messaging Justin for a long time. I'm like, hey man, the team's starting to slow down or it doesn't have the damage. And he goes, oh, just adjust this. And then he can send me like links. He goes, oh, actually check this team out. It's actually really useful and still a high point booster. And then
like also like other guys that are really good at team building, like Nightmare's really good. Fnatic is fantastic.
Fnatic's good. Even like the top like JP people like Coruscant. Even TSF, he still holds it down. He quit, but then he came back. His account is now better than all of us again.
There's a guy called Santoriu. I don't remember his name, but he's really good as well.
Hey, anybody that's been mentioned, hit me up. I'll get you on the cast for sure.
Yeah, well, that's actually a good point. Anybody who has been mentioned, if you do have an interest in being on the podcast, hit 100%. Us up, and then you can like basically break down your thought process of when going into a treasure map or a Fortnite or a Colosseum,
general play and stuff like that, like how you play the game. That's what we want to know, because like obviously the 5 of us all play the game kind of like differently, but like I'm trying my best to get like I've messaged a few of the top players, and if we can get those people on the cast, then I don't, because like usually like the general like TC audience doesn't get to hear what these top players talk about in terms of how they play the game. They get to hear like the content creators, you know, like how they play, but like how a top player plays is completely different to how the general audience will play.
Yeah, exactly. And like the thing is, I consider us like we're like A grade players. These people we're talking about like S grade.
S tier.
Yeah,
Even
facts.
like then you have then you can even break that down further. Like you have a triple S tier where like we all know like the
Oh yeah,
people are the elite. Like they will always be number one.
See, like, and that's what people don't understand. Like they see Todd and think he's like, oh, the best of the best. Because honestly,
know,
Todd
right?
sucks.
I honestly think
no. Run it back, Todd. You
Todd is-
you
No,
can't
that,
claim that.
no,
Todd is the
no,
best and
that's
smartest
100% right.
I claim
I say you're the smartest content creator amongst the ranks of like
That's fact.
Zinagami,
That's fact.
Atsu, Seka, Boris, and all that. You're easily top tier there. But then when it comes to like these other guys who only upload videos to share how high they rank in their teams.
What's what I like?
It's
Those are the
two
vids I
completely
enjoy.
separate types of people
Yeah.
and players.
Like you get to watch like the content that comes out where it's like where Lay will post like nav level 200, or
Yeah.
you'll watch like
People just need to broaden their scope.
Coruscant from JP will always post a nav level 400 video on JP.
Yeah.
Like, are you out of your mind? This man is farming 400 nav levels every single TM without fail. Like
and
that's
that's
crazy.
That brings back another thing like that I was thinking about as well. The fact that people used to argue about, I mean, I hate to bring it up, but cheap gems and the fact that, you have all these gems, you can do all these pulls for treasure map characters, you inherently have an advantage. You still have to do the farming. You have to put the time in to actually farm it. Like me and Justin could have the same exact teams, but he's always going to rank higher than me because he puts in more time.
He's
Yeah.
fast.
Oh,
And he's
facts.
like,
People need to realize that. Like
even if you put, let's say like you like two players, like you and Justin put in 10 hours at like you started at like one time and you stopped at the exact same time, I can guarantee you that Justin will be ahead of you because he's more efficient. Like just because like the way he plays the game is more efficient.
Yeah.
It kind of like brings back to like Shattered Fortress videos where like the OG ones where you used to run a crab or like a penguin on the team.
Just to flex.
Just because like it was less frames or like the animation was quicker to get the chain up.
I remember that
to did more damage. Like that's crazy.
I think it was for back in the day when Princess Turtle Time was first coming out, where you could only run it for 30 minutes. People legitimately had calculations for which characters had 10 combo hits with the less frames and less time so that they could get more time in on it. Like it was ridiculous. Oh, people wild.
I think the best way to appreciate it is if you ever go hard, that like you could have the same teams as these guys, and they just get like all I did the time that I went the hardest was TM Shanks, and all I did was sleep, eat, and treasure map, and these guys had like twice as many points or more,
Yeah,
and it's insane. They're so much more efficient with their taps and with how they allocate their sleep. These guys are nuts.
Yeah, and the thing is, some people like for example, me and Jacob both work full-time jobs. So I have 3 days off of a fortnight, 3.5 days off a fortnight. So when I'm farming, especially for treasure map, it's not like I take the treasure map days off. I might be lucky where 1 or 2 of those treasure map days fall on my days off, and on those days I'll do nothing but farm from till I wake up till I go to sleep. And when I'm at work, I'm farming on my lunch break. You know what I mean? So I'm farming whenever I can, just to make sure I at least get to the 7 million point mark.
That's what like that should be the aim. Like if you're not like I'll take that back actually. Like 1 mil should always be your aim. Without fail. You have 5 days to get a mil, or 4 days, let's say for global standards, right? 250k points a day.
Nothing.
Is extremely
Easy.
doable. Even if you run the lowest point boosted teams possible, there is no excuse to not get at least a mil, right?
It's like 15 minutes a run, and it's a couple of runs.
Even if you're being inefficient, it should be like on average, like an inefficient run is 30 to 45 minutes. An inefficient run, right? If you're actually focusing on the game, you're looking at like 25 to 15 minutes for a run.
Yep, agreed.
That's kind of your times.
At the same time as well, you're collecting all of these limit break rewards, collecting up all of these manual.
That's what people don't realize.
You have chances of dropping gems and everything too. Like they're extremely low.
Tablets, even things like candy, like like all those things matter at the end of the day. People be complaining about candy. It's like, dog, why aren't you farming the colos? Colos drop too much candy. I'm out here selling all my candy. I'm like, get it away.
Yeah, I haven't kept a recovery candy in a year and a half.
No, God forbid. God forbid.
I'll say I do run out of attack cotton candy since I have so much raid points.
That's standard.
I just buy them. If I'm running that low, I
Well,
buy
that's like that.
cotton
That's
candy,
the
like-
thing, though. But like, the only reason you're running out of candy is because you've candied everything. There are people
Yeah.
that still haven't candied everything and are saying I have no candy.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, okay, like the game is like maybe like a year or two ago, candy was hard to actually.
Come
Yeah,
across.
It
Same
wasn't
with
that.
tomes.
Yeah, 100. If you don't socket your damn characters, get the fuck out.
Let me,
mad.
wait, pause for a sec. Pause. I have a friend Barter Cavendish that is fully limit broken, almost rainbowed, but
Delete.
has 0 sockets.
Delete. I don't even
No,
care.
that's
Delete.
gross.
That's
How do
actually
you
a delete.
how do you do that to a legend?
I mean,
Strike that. How do you do that to a
especially
new legend?
Especially nowadays with where did we get all the soccer terms from? Was it the Luffy
I don't
versus
know.
Katakuri stuff?
Yes,
Yeah, I
that
think
was-
so.
Yeah.
That
I left that event with like 1,200
Yeah,
socket
like-
tomes, and I'm
Yeah.
down to like 600 now.
so
'cause I've
events
been
like
socketing
that,
everything.
especially blitz battles. Whenever we get them, farm the hell out of there. We get shit ton of materials from that. And like
daily
before
island.
the Colosseums were a thing, cotton candy was like non-existent. You like never got cotton candy. Like I remember
Yeah.
when cotton candy first came out, I remember farming story mode for cotton candy.
Yeah,
real?
so do I.
Oh, that was bad.
And do you remember how like everyone would have their list of like when cotton candy first came out, which legends they were going to
to do
so hard to
first
come
and
by?
stuff.
And
Yeah.
like it was top of that list was always Log Luffy. This is how long ago it was. It was Log Luffy, and then after that it just went into like your Sengoku, your
Strongwood Ace,
Whitebeard, your Strongwood
Whitebeard.
Ace.
your crocodile, like
Yeah.
characters like that.
Oof.
But yeah, now candy is like so common. Like there should not be a reason for you to.
Especially when
Joe-
you got Chopper Man missions that are giving you plus 10,
Yes.
plus 20,
Yeah.
plus 50. Like, there's no
Yeah,
excuses.
that's
at the
another
moment.
thing. Yeah, always check the Chopman missions. Like if it's like grind something like do 25 runs of a new clash, and there's usually plus 10 cotton candy in there for you.
I think
Do your
Fortnite's
mission.
having them now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do your missions, run your Fortnites, run your colors. But I think what Jobo was mentioning, but like probably he wasn't loud enough, was we even have like a tome island now.
Every
Oh.
day, yeah.
You
Every
get
single day.
7 every day. I
And if you
believe
use Buggy too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
should
use Buggy.
Yeah,
Use,
9
do
every
both
day.
of those things.
Right now.
That's 3 of your daily runs to get the 2 gems.
And that's it, exactly. You get your 3 daily runs done. Like
And the funny thing is, you can auto it with Buggy.
exactly.
easy.
Like
easy.
you can, and then even like the potion island. I think potions are still hard to come by, quote unquote, if you're not farming TM a lot.
The Potion Island sucks, to be quite
Yeah,
frank.
for real. If it
Yeah.
Four small potions, right?
Yeah.
Like
on
and maybe
average, 4.
I think
If
there's
you're
a
lucky.
chance for a large one too.
It's
To be-
no, it's
no,
those
it's
are
medium,
no
medium,
large
medium,
at all.
sorry.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be honest, it should be 4 mediums, or at least you guaranteed
2 and
medium
2,
per,
at least
per
2
run.
and 2 or something like that. Something
Yeah,
along those
like
lines.
they need
At
to
least more
revamp that.
mediums, 100%.
The
Like
Tome
rare-
Island is perfect though, in my opinion.
Yeah, we don't need any more than that. Like forbidden tomes, like even like 'cause I don't use specific tomes anymore. I
I
just
do.
forbidden tome the crap out of it, and then to finish off the last remaining tomes,
Yeah,
I'll be
get
okay.
it-
The sockets are. I'll do specific.
Yeah,
See,
get it
I'm
to 3 or 4
impatient
and then
as.
top it off.
I'm impatient as.
Do you guys remember like years ago in the game? I remember that there was like a sale, and one of the biggest gem packs or the big gem pack had like 3 forbidden tomes.
Yes.
In it as a
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
And
We
it
have
wasn't
1,000.
stacking either. You're like, bruh, I have to use these, but I don't want to use these because they're scarce.
They were
Yeah.
so rare. It's insane how far we've come. Honestly, like it's a way better game than it used to
Well,
be.
one of the gem packs out currently, I think
It's
it's
like
a
15
for us it'd be $60. Is like 15 tomes on top of your gems.
That's good. Like it
Oh.
doesn't really give us much. Like when you really think about it, because we can get 15 tomes quite easily now. But like, at least like that's kind of evolved. Like the gem pack still sucks. They're terrible.
yeah.
Like that needs a rework 100%. But at least like the extras in terms of the additions to the gem packs have kind of added on
Yeah,
with
they're
time.
slowly improving. Yeah.
Yes. Like especially like getting like support medals. Like support medals is the next thing that people will be
For real.
like if you didn't farm on like the Enel support island or the Barter support island, like it's so rare to get medals now. Especially because like what is it? Like the lowest medal is like a 1 in 10.
It's like 1 in
It's so,
20.
it's got to
Oh
be worse.
my-
It's so
That's
bad.
crazy. Like you're feeding 20 to get 1.
Yeah.
Like for example, for me, for example, I think I have maybe like 300 of the lowest ones. That's like only 15, like on average, 15 support ups or whatever it is. Like
They're
that's
so
that's
bad.
so dumb. That's where it's like the game's kind of led to now. Is like we always have this one thing that's scarce. Then after a year or two, they make it abundant, and then they scarce abundant, which I guess in turn, like in a business perspective, it does generate revenue because it forces you to farm, spend the gems. I have no gems to farm, buy gems,
Buy
then
gems,
like
yeah.
the cycle.
So what's the next thing after support abilities?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, like there has to be something, right? I can't see them just stopping.
It doesn't matter what it is. All I know is that it would piss people off.
100%.
Correct.
People like it's too much now. It's like that's what I thought when support abilities came out. I remember like watching Boris's video and it's like this is support. I'm like, no, it's like don't do this
Like
to us.
I really liked Limit Break, but when support came out in Japan, I'm like, this is actually pretty dumb.
That's a bro moment.
It is
For real.
indeed.
I just use them for extra stats.
Well, that's like what the
Yeah.
majority of.
But then you got like
supports
some of them are just
are
absolute
really
dog
good,
shit.
but some of them are really good too, though.
Yeah. Like
Right,
I got
yeah.
really frustrated with the recent Garb challenge. Right, the only way to beat one of them was to actually have support Jinbei maxed out as a friend on your captain Akainu. I got all the way to the final stage. I didn't know how necessary that was, and I just didn't have enough damage. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
That's
Oh.
effort.
And I hate Akainu like these days. Like I love Akainu. I hate it when his timing damage is the only way to win.
Yeah.
Because then it's I'm like, oh, like really, it's so much more effort and yeah,
Cry me a river.
pretty much.
Hey, no one's crying nowhere. We're not crying. The only person that's crying is Joba because we got carrot.
We got
boy.
carrot.
Oh my God. Why you gotta do my man like that?
Bruh.
It's still sore. It's
Well,
still
I think,
tender.
like, you were talking to someone on Discord before about like what it is to whale out, and I think you were describing that like your 15 multis isn't really considered like a whaling in terms
Yeah,
of
not anymore.
Yeah.
going ham. Like what do you guys think is whaling now? Because obviously we don't want to talk about the forbidden words, but like when
Doing-
cheap gems,
doing
I don't
15
care.
multis over
This
multiple
is
days.
my podcast. I'm doing what I want. All right. When cheap gems
think-
came out, people were dropping like easily
Thousands.
like thousands of gems on every Sugo, you know, and we thought that was whaling. People are still doing that without cheap
Yeah.
gems.
If you're
Like-
doing more multis than the like steps are
Yeah, I was about
providing,
to say the
you're
same
going
thing.
way too hard. You
Yeah.
need to stop.
Yeah, and especially like so there's no I reckon there's that there's like or there's like doing so say each day is like 15 multis and the last on the 15th you get a red that's limited rate or whatever, but then
Yeah.
like it's got two other parts that also do the same thing. If you're doing 15 multis on every single part, you need to check your priorities.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you though, since Carrot, like when I got Carrot, I had done 70 multis total. Like, and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told Lay, and he was like, "That's more than me," and I was like, "Oh."
I
was like, "Oh shit!"
It was at that moment Pappy knew.
I was like, "What? Excuse me?" But is that considered whaling now? Like, I guess that was over a bunch of Sugo fests, but like,
Yeah.
is
No,
that whaling?
I think that like by definition we're all whales because we spend more money than the average
more than
person.
the average person. Yeah, of course.
But then you got like the massive whales who just do spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on
What
every
is a
single Sugo
whaling
fest.
TC though? Have every legend, have everything rainbowed? Because like in those circumstances, you
Well-
don't necessarily have to like if you're the luckiest man alive, and let's say you fed 4 of every tablet and it hit every
Yeah.
single time, and every red ticket you pulled was brand new. Like,
Like,
is that are you a whale at that point because you have everything? Like what
No,
determines a whale?
whales more
That's true.
is more about the money you spend.
Yeah.
Okay, how much? Let's hit me with a number. Hit me with a
It's,
number.
it's fucked up though, because I've spent thousands, and I know people who are free to play who have more shit than me.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I'm saying. Like, are they whales just because they have more things, or is it because
No, like
how
and
much
like
you drop?
a whale is actually defined as someone who spends a certain amount of money or on a game.
Yeah.
And that's like we're all whales, but then you got people who spend stuff like $2,000 per Sugo Fest. Or
That's a whale.
$2,000 per part per Sugo Fest. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Nah,
relax.
I think that's too extreme. I think maybe 1,000 per Sugo or per big
But-
Sugo. I don't know. I think it's
for-
relative.
For, like
Like,
for
if-
us,
if-
if we're doing 15 multis,
That's
We're-
1,000
That's
almost.
$1,000 for us, just about.
Yeah, that's the scary part. Is that like 15 on a Sugo is 1,000? Like, it's like hello.
So
I think
that's
it's relative. Like, if I told my friends or my family how much I've spent on this game, they
No,
would
never,
they go fucking
never.
retard.
That
But-
stays with me, and
but-
unless I'm very intoxicated, I'll tell someone. But
That's
other
coming.
than
That's,
that,
that's going to the grave.
that's actually
like-
going to the grave. My
don't
phone
worry.
is going with me.
They would probably think that I was wailing, but I know there's guys that are way worse.
Yeah,
way
when we're going to apply to this one house, right? And they asked to see our bank statement.
Oh
so,
no!
So I printed it off, and there is like a full page and a half of just $85
Bando.
to Bandai.
Oh no!
I'm like, fuck.
Like, what's going on here? You're like, oh yeah, I work for the company. You know, I transact money through it. You know, yeah. Oh wow, nice. You write it up. You're like, woo. Thank
Yeah,
God.
Refund.
Oh, man.
Let's not go there.
Yeah, that's actually trigger word now. Cheap
Yeah.
gems, yeah, that's fine. Refund though, relax.
Nah.
that's for another time. Don't worry, we'll get into
same thing.
Okay, relax. We're having a good conversation. You,
I don't even know
idiot.
how this started.
That's the beauty of this game. You can talk for hours about this dumb shit. Like it always ends up being the same conversation, but it's always in the middle of it. It's different. But-
Yeah.
And it's like a roller coaster of love and hate too, because
But-
we've all hated this
For
game.
sure.
Oh yeah, like
we've all quit at least once.
Yeah,
Like,
and
Oh, yeah.
that's fact.
I'm so glad when I quit, took my break. It was before treasure map was even a thing, because I am not risking missing a treasure map unit because
Don't get me started.
True.
yeah, like
When
I don't want to have to work my way back into New World.
But like when I got my new account, like it was I bought it off someone. Like they had farmed like the account was brand new, and then tickets, like the blue tickets didn't exist at the time. So I've been spending all my blue tickets for the last like 3 or 4 treasure maps on just getting every treasure map unit back. Not rainbow, but max limit break and max skill.
Yeah,
That's a lot of blue tickets that's a lot of tablets I'm missing out on just to farm everything
True.
back up. Plus, none of the raids were farmed, none of the colos were farmed. I've been slowly progressing to the
That's
Yeah.
one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is like there's a couple of people in my Discord server. I'm not going to name them, but they have a very good account. They have lots of legends, lots of rare recruits. However, when they ask for suggestions for teams, and I say, do you have this character, which is a pretty easily accessible free-to-play unit that's available 24/7, they don't have them farmed. So people need to understand that the free-to-play characters in this game are just as important as the rare recruits, the legends, etc.
Yep.
yeah, and you got to put as much time in farming that kind of stuff as you do, like just trying to farm for levels, or you know what I mean, like.
Like what else is there to do other than TM if you don't farm that
Yeah,
shit?
exactly. Like I'm not someone who's going to sit there and farm my pirate level, because all in all, pirate level does not matter. The only thing pirate level matters if your cost is really low. So if you're really really low level, that's when pirate level matters. But once you reach 600, like all of us,
Or even like once you reach 300 stamina, usually that's enough.
yeah,
300
exactly.
Whatever that is for pirate
Yeah.
level.
throwing stam is like around things like
Oh, actually,
550s, I think.
I'm one
Oh, no,
level
yeah,
away
of course
from
it does.
400. That's gonna be nice.
Well, I was just
Nice.
adding up how many things I have left. I still have 13 raids to farm and 43 Colosseum units.
Yeah,
Oh,
screw that. Well, I mean, there
There's
are
a
some
lot
Colosseum
of
units. There are some Colosseum units that I
that are
legit
absolute
don't give a shit
doo-doo.
about.
Yeah, that's
I
why.
skipped
That's why.
some. Like,
it's
I
Oh,
skipped
yeah.
the Boa sisters. The Boa sisters were shit.
Oh, of
Yeah, I
course.
skipped
I'm
them.
not
I
gonna
think
farm I'm not gonna farm the doo-doo, but it's just like, in reality, like 43 Colosseum units is a lot.
Yeah, I
Like-
skipped Dellinger.
Yeah, he's trash.
I just started farming him the other day. I was like, you know what? He's here. I have nothing else to farm at the moment. I might as well do this. Like,
Turns
why
out
You
not?
never
he's
know.
asking
He,
us what
he might be
he
TM boosted sometime. You never know.
Todd's really out here uploading a video during our podcast. I'm calling you out. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Multitask.
Hey, hey, man's getting his money. That's what's up. Gotta
was
respect the
just like-
hustle, dude. I didn't
How about
realize
that game though? I don't know if we plan to talk about other games, but that
Of
Pokemon
course.
game's gonna be talked about.
Pokemon
That's
Yeah.
Masters? How we
Okay.
okay? Like, it's been out officially for like more like I think like
2 days.
almost 2 days.
And
In 2
Cobby,
hours. 2
Cobby,
days.
Dylan, and I have been playing for the past
For a
month
minute.
already.
Month and a bit, yeah.
Oh, really?
What are
Yeah.
what are your thoughts and opinions on the game? Quick, like 2 sentences.
Okay, it's really good, but you run out of things to do quite quickly.
I mean, it's early stages. There'll be more stuff added later.
Obviously.
I think the battling system can get really intricate and
Yeah.
there'll be a lot of skill involved, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we
there
used
will
to
be.
play competitive Pokemon, and there is so much remnant of that with the stat boosts and choosing
Yep.
when to use your sync move until you want to wait to use your sync move until after they've used their stat boost because that
Yep.
immediately makes them all void, like it's
Yep.
pointless.
Facts.
So and what units can you bring that hold on to their stat boost even after a sync move is used? So yeah, there is a lot of stuff like that. You really got to do your research on which characters are good and which characters are absolute dog shit. Because even though they're a 5-star character, they may only be like very average unit.
There's 3 things that I really like about this game. Number 1 is the fact that it's relatively free to play friendly at this stage.
Yes,
The free to play units
seems
are all
like
really
it.
good.
Yep.
Number 2, the fact that what was I going to say? Oh, the fact that there are 3 or 4-star units that are actually really good from the summon pool, not just the
Yep.
5-star units. And the last thing is I like the fact that they've changed what Pokemon are weak to certain typings. So,
Yes.
for
Oh,
example,
yeah.
Superior is a grass type, weak to like ice, fire, flying, bug, etc.
Poison.
In this game, it's only weak to one type, which is great. It means that
which
it
reduces
makes
a lot
so
of
many other
confusion.
pairs so much better compared to the video games potentially. So
And as far as the gacha aspect of it goes, it's actually like it's like 3,000 gems per 10 multi, but like they're
and the
obviously
rates are
cheaper.
good.
The rates are good, and if you do
There's
like a certain amount of multis, there's actually this thing that allows you.
There's a
like,
counter, is there not?
Yeah, there's a
There's
counter.
like-
So once you reach 400 points, which is like, for example, I've done 6 multis. I'm only just over halfway. So there's that. But
Take it with a grain of salt.
yeah,
you
take
get
it with
to
a grain
pick
of salt. But
you
you
get to pick a unit.
You get to pick a unit, any unit from the pool of boosted ones.
That's crazy. I didn't even like.
Yeah.
I saw someone. I think it was Pam. Shout out Pam. He posted the ticker and he said you get to do something with it at the end. But the fact you get to pick something is actually like that's. I mean, like it doesn't necessarily entice me to like go crazy with pools, for example, which it shouldn't.
No.
But like at least there's a reward in the back end for pulling.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
now I can pull, and then I know that okay, at some point I'll be able to pick what unit I want. And let's say I've been trying to get a unit for a while and I can't get them. Okay, now I can actually just get them.
Yeah,
In
exactly.
Dan Memo, you got to buy like an $80 whale box to pick a unit.
Yeah, you have to, like, you know, me and Joba played Dumb Memo. We've been playing for top 25 familiar clan. That game requires.
It's been a year now. We haven't played for almost a
We've
year.
been playing for a year. That game is good. It's a very good gacha game. I can't get it twisted. A lot of intricacies, a lot of RNG is a big factor, which kind of sucks. But
No.
they're like their gacha system. They release like new units almost every fortnight or every month.
Yeah, that's
And,
like 3 weeks, I think.
It's always like most of the time is close to a meta shift, but it's just not quite a meta shift.
So yeah,
So-
I just sent a screenshot into. That's basically scout.
Oh
point.
yeah, it's the scout points. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, when you reach the max, you can scout any one sync pair you want.
Also,
pretty
what I
cool.
love about Pokemon Masters, no stam or no
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
stamps. So you can grind. The hard content is hard. Like if you
Yeah,
don't,
you have to
if you're not
concentrate.
thinking about how to build the right team, or you're not actually concentrating, the hard content is actually challenging. Like there's an element. So I can really see them doing really cool events with Pokemon trainers and legendary Pokemon, for example.
Yeah.
Do they have-
and you can be really crazy in that sense.
Do they have PvP?
No.
No, but
No.
there's co-op to beat story missions to earn better rewards.
And I feel
Hmm.
like because they've built co-op, in terms the framework of the game, I feel like that could then lead on to PvP because the framework's there.
But I like that they're
Like-
not pushing it as a release thing because if they did that, it'd be so bug.
No, it would suck.
I'm
The
also
connection
looking at
issues already
the
existed.
I'm looking at the purchase price for gems in the shop. So this is Australian prices, and also I would be comparing it to Treasure Cruise. So $84.99 in the Australian store on Treasure Cruise is 85 gems.
Mhm.
So
Which is
basically a dollar per gem.
1.5 multis.
So on Pokemon Masters, 84.99 gives you 6,400 gems, which will
Two
net you 2
multis.
multis. So
Yeah.
that just shows. And as I said, the rates are also better in this game. Like, hang on, let me have a look at the Sync Pair Scout to see what the
I think
actual-
it's 7% for a 5-star, if I remember
I
correctly.
think you're about right.
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
is
it
good,
is.
which I mean, like in TC, I think it's like 8% for a legend when it's not rate boosted, when it's not 2 times. Sorry, maybe like
4%.
oh,
yeah, I
well,
think
there
it
you
was
go. That's crazy. That fucking sucks.
But the thing is, you also got to think as well that the fact that there's only 5 stars in the pool. So
Oh,
once,
it's gonna,
other
it's
than
gonna
again, we don't really know. It's too early to say. But maybe they'll have banners where only 5 stars are able to be pulled.
that would make sense. Like
Yeah, they
I
might.
mean,
Yeah, they might not do a massive pool of them. You know what I mean?
I mean, like that
They might
happens
keep
in
banners out for longer.
that
Which is
happens
something
in
that,
like Darn
it's
Memo and
something
stuff.
that I've been
Go-Kart.
pushing
Yeah.
personally in Treasure Cruise is they should bring out more Sugo Fest that have restricted classes to
Dude,
limit the amount of legends you
dude.
can pull.
Dude, when the Sugo I pulled Carrot on, like I
Yeah.
it was a restricted one, 0.254 for Carrot.
Yeah,
that
that's
was
lit.
insane.
That's crazy. I did
That's a
I did
great
8.
move.
Admittedly, I did 8 multis, which is like a lot for like one of those Sugos. But like I was pulling a decent amount of legends in 8 multis, and they were like pretty decent legends too. Like Shiki got Big Mum, and ultimately got Carrot. Like do more of these things. We don't just need. I don't want to have every legend available. No one gives a shit about the legends from like 4 years ago.
Yeah,
No
right from the
one
start.
cares anymore. We don't
There's
necessarily don't
gotta
just
be
give
a
me the new
change.
legends, but give me a variety. Like give me a simplified pool.
And
Like, if
that's
they
from
keep
the
them around,
mentality of someone who's been playing the game for a long time. You imagine the
Yes.
new people trying to get into the game as well, who
I'm so,
I don't know,
yeah.
pull Whitebeard V1 as their first.
Oh
wow.
no.
man.
They're
I'm
going to
so
be
glad we got to the game.
stranded.
Yeah, I'm so glad we all got to the game when we did, because like not just like with the characters and stuff. Like there's a lot to learn in such a short amount of time. You know what I mean?
The game is on the surface. The game looks like this is OPTC. On the surface, it looks easy, but like when you start breaking it down into like their events, like Blitz Battle, Treasure
Yeah.
Mode,
Yeah,
Dark
not
Challenges.
just not just that. And then there's like socketing, limit breaking, leveling up, special
Candy, like
I think
candy.
a lot of people don't realize it heading into it, but you got to think about every piece of content is like a jigsaw puzzle, and all of your units are the jigsaw puzzle pieces, and you have to
Yes.
bring
Yeah.
the right puzzle pieces to complete the puzzle.
and
Exactly.
imagine building for a GARP challenge
Yeah, that's
Like, and not
tough.
knowing what the hell is going on.
Do you guys ever see on the Facebook groups like, how's my team? And people in the comments are like, team for what? No, it's just my team for everything.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can't
exactly.
do that in
And
this game,
and
though.
they've got like the team is literally just all their legends they had, and
Just on
some
the
some of
team.
them, like 2 or 3
Yeah.
of them don't even get boosted by the captain. It's like, okay, why this one? Oh, because it's my strongest unit. Well, that doesn't mean much. It's not going to do any damage with that captain. You know what I mean?
I think because it's like in a lot of gacha games, like for example, like take maybe Pokemon Masters or like Done Memo or like a lot of gacha games, you can have like for example Done Memo right now, you can have one team that farms everything. You don't
But-
need to make a specific team. And in
As
Pokemon
far as-
Masters, it seems like you could probably do that as well.
And as far as story mode goes, you can, as long as like
Yeah.
if you go in there and you like, oh, I lost to this because
Because
with
of
this
particular
one.
thing, yeah.
but like when it comes to the extra island, that's when it gets a little bit tougher.
Yeah. Like I guess because like a lot of people that like aren't coming into like OPTC either they didn't start early or they're coming into it late after playing a lot of like previous gacha games. The assumption is like, I'll put all the best units on one team and then that
Yeah.
should clear everything. But in reality, that's why I think OPTC, in my opinion, is probably like even as much as we rag on it. And I think the reason why we hate the game is because we love it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
it's
play it
because
so much.
we enjoy the
nitpick so
complexity of it.
Yeah. I think it's still one of the best, if not the best, gacha game. It doesn't create the same revenue as things like Dokkan Battle or
It doesn't
like,
get the same sort of
God
respect.
forbid, like Fate. What is it? Fate Go or what is it, Joba?
Yeah.
Like
Fate Grand Order.
Fate
Yeah.
Grand Order. That's it. Sorry, that
Huge.
makes that. I think like the Japan stats between January and June made $450 million US
Yeah.
in Japan only.
Yeah, it's insane.
I think TC made like 18 mil or whatever it was. Like.
hmm
But I still think Treasure Cruise is a better game than any
Yeah,
of
and
these other ones. And
it's
it's a shame that the revenue that they generate isn't equivalent to how good the game is.
It's crazy because One Piece is a way bigger franchise than than every other anime franchise. Especially, I don't know if it's especially Fate. I don't know how big it is, but I know One Piece is like the highest selling manga by far.
Yeah, it's the highest selling comic. It's one of the highest selling, only sitting behind Superman and Batman.
Well, the thing is, right? It's like Fate Grand Order is basically a waifu pulling simulator, right? The thing is don't quote me on this. I think this is true, but I think during the time period where Japan released that waifu banner with the waifu Khalifa, the carrot, the sugar, it happened a couple months ago. I think during that period they got really close to top grossing.
That's crazy.
So if
Japanese people wilding.
That's gonna be all
they
me.
wild, bro.
So if that's anything to go off, they just need to release more waifu characters, and then they're good.
I don't
No,
want that.
please,
But that's
no,
what-
that's
Please
exactly
no. I can't take that.
Joba's wallet is already dead. Like,
Nah,
I'm already dead inside. I'm
You
fucking
know what
dead
they're gonna
inside.
do? They're not gonna release new characters. They're gonna release new costumes you have to pull for the units you already have.
Oh, that pudding situation. That
No.
pudding was so trash.
Oh,
No.
awesome! I just pulled a bikini for my V2 boa. Yes.
no.
You know what? If you could if you could buy like costume changes and not just like gacha for them,
no,
I would do that.
Don't even
I would
say
do
You
that.
can't put that energy out there because you know for a fact Bandai is listening. Tinfoil hats are on. They will do that shit. You know they will as well.
That'd be fine if you don't have
No,
to gamble
it
for it.
would
If you get it
not.
guaranteed, and you can buy a
Alright,
skin, I would 100% do
This
that.
is why, Jobo, you don't have carrot. You're out there spending your money.
God.
You're out there spending your money on. I'm gonna buy some costumes for my character. We out here pulling the damn.
That's fair.
Good.
That's fair.
Like, you know, like don't ever mention that because that's gonna happen. You know, like that's
If
the
it's
next step.
optional. If it's optional, it's not going to raise your like multiplier in
No,
TM or
but
anything.
but that's the difference though. You know, the quote unquote costume is gonna have a stat boost. Todd, you were asking earlier what's coming after support? Goddamn costume.
Costumes.
Oh no.
No, we don't want that
We're-
shit, man.
We already have Neos.
Lock Luffy 6+. Oh
No.
my god.
I am sick
Neo
of
Duval,
Neos.
boys, let's go.
Neo Duval, dude.
Oh,
I-
dear.
When we got Neo Nightmare Luffy, I laughed my ass off because it was out of nowhere. It was
And
so out
the
of
funny thing is, we're in Discord. We're taking the piss.
Yeah, someone called it. Yeah, they're like, oh, what if it's Neo Nightmare Luffy?
Yeah, that was because we were.
You were
'cause-
streaming at
Yeah.
the time,
Yeah,
actually.
we were in the Discord chat and we were talking about it. We're like, oh, it's Neo Nightmare, and we're all laughing. And then someone from the Discord chat goes, oh, I'm gonna put it in his chat. So yeah,
And
that
it
was us.
was. And we're like, bruh.
That's a bruh moment.
Hit him with the bruh.
I did. So did the global Bandai team or Treasure Cruise team forget that we were supposed to get V2 Boa and Nami 6+?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yes. Probably.
I'm kind of upset about that still.
Yeah, I'm
Actually,
still upset about that.
Like I
Yeah,
remember
what
when,
was
we got that in the download like 4 months ago.
What was that random Sugo that had them guaranteed? That was so out of left field too.
Yeah.
We had that Sugo, didn't we? It wasn't the Nami
Yeah.
game. Wasn't there? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's
we
why
had,
we thought we were
had
gonna
the
get them.
Sugo, we just still haven't gotten the 6+s yet.
Not good.
No, not good at all, actually.
Not
Bit
good
frustrating.
at all.
Because you would have had a lot of people who saw that they were coming out and were like, damn, I'm going to pull.
Yeah.
And they're
I mean,
still
like,
not here yet.
Nami's
like-
still a fantastic unit.
She just gets a straight upgrade.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Mhm.
Boa, you could like you know, if you have a spare, which 95% of the player base should have a dupe.
I
V2
honestly don't
Boa.
think it's worth.
Like, I mean, like you could though if you have that spare unit, but in reality, it's not really worth. Same as I think V1 Arca 6+, like is also just a straight upgrade. I
Yep.
feel like change, like
Yeah.
just like the pure strength thing is fine. He does so much
Oh,
damage.
but he no longer boosts V1 Doflamingo.
When's the last time you damn used V1 Arca? Exactly. You know, let him live. Like,
Yeah, no, I love his 6+. I think it's great.
It's
I
really
forgot he
good.
had a 6+. I'm not gonna lie.
A 6+ Dofi is soon, right?
Yes,
Yep.
TM should be
Yeah.
TM rewards. Shout out Rose. Please farm your
Yeah, you better.
Well, we were saying before, as long as you get to 1 million points.
shit,
Well,
sorry,
this time
1.5.
around, you got to get to
1.5.
1.5. Yeah. Well, at least they're adding it to our shop, like what they do with the Cavendish skulls.
That,
At least
that was really good. Like,
Yes.
it's weird. Bandai always does this thing where they do some absolutely dumb shit with the game, but then they come back around. They're like, "Here's a quality of life update that is good," and everyone's like, "Whoa, total
Holy
stacking's
shit.
cool. Like, tome stacking's dope
Oh,
as well.
while
We
we're
get
on
like
this,
these little bits.
fix the friggin' retry effect. Oh my
It-
god.
it's getting fixed. It's
it-
getting
Oh,
fixed.
thank you.
September 1st supposedly is when I
Yeah,
think something like that. They said they're gonna fix
Wait.
it, but
What thing where you lose like all the
So you
all the
lose your
songs?
sockets, the limit break, and the So
Yeah.
that means any captain's limit break that also affords them a special cooldown reduction. That means that'll go in with 1 turn higher special.
That's gonna be such a nice update. It's gonna make farming so much easier.
so
Yeah.
it's far. I'm gonna delete all my friends.
Yeah. Don't even need them anymore.
I'm keeping like 7 friends. Everyone, I'm gonna have 7 accounts.
Nah, fuck it. I'm gonna have 0 friends and just run the Bandai support.
Oh,
And there it
Ooh.
is. That's powerful.
give the Bandai
That's
support
powerful.
limit break.
It does,
They do.
but it loses it. That's the
That was
thing.
they with the new update they gave the Bandai support limit break.
Yeah.
Really?
Really?
See, that's
Yep.
I don't use. That's how much I don't use the Bandai. It's
Dude,
like
I've been
Yeah.
using that. Like,
Yeah,
I use it
same.
all the time. I
I
don't
use it a
care.
lot.
Like, Jack, I don't need no Jack friends. Just
That-
give me
okay, do they have-
Bandai support.
do Bandai supports have max special as well?
No.
No.
No, they
Okay,
don't.
that's why I don't use it.
No.
But depending, like for Fortnite, it's not a big deal.
Well, I need so for example, the Colosseum Pika, I needed to use
Oh,
both my
yeah.
Barter Cav and
Yeah.
Wait,
special.
but Barter and Cavendish is boosted in the Colosseum, so they get less cooldown.
Yeah, doo
Yeah,
doo.
Yeah,
Get dusted, son.
You still have to stall. Fuck that.
You're Barter Cavendish, you can stall.
Yeah,
don't
that's
want-
true.
No,
That's
still
the
forever.
reason you pull for him.
Why would you want to stall when you can just go fast in the Colosseum and then boost?
Don't use Barter Cav then if you want to go fast.
Well, speaking of Pika, how did you guys find that?
It was
Easy.
way easier than I thought it was gonna be.
What was the
made it
Colosseum
out
we
as-
got before this?
I don't know.
Katakuri?
Katakuri, yeah.
I feel like Katakuri was harder.
Yes.
I
Yes.
agree.
I
Pika-
haven't
oh,
farmed
Pika-
it yet.
Challenging.
You haven't
haven't
farmed it?
been-
Well,
What do you
No,
outside
I've
of using
been
the Germa
lazy,
team,
I've been lazy.
outside of the Germa team, like Katakuri was kind of challenging.
I used the German team for Pico.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I
Yep.
think I did as well.
Yeah,
I
it's
used-
really
I used
easy.
V2 Katakuri.
So yeah, I forgot when you guys were talking about like progression, like you got to get 1 unit 1 month in order to farm the other unit 1 month. Because I'm on a new account, I didn't have Invasion Linlin, and because of that, Katakuri was a huge pain in the ass.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
That's rough. But they've been like
Well, she's coming back
making
already.
her- yeah,
Already
she's making her
announced.
available really often.
Yeah, I got her now. I
It's been
finished
like
her now.
3 times in a row. I'm fairly sure.
Yeah,
last.
she kept coming out on like really hard raids
It's
too.
like
So-
Sengoku Garb, and I was like, bro.
Yeah.
Well, she's coming out tomorrow for 3 days, and she's going to be available on Raid Cracker.
Yeah.
That's still kind of challenging.
I got her. I farmed her after whatever we just had. I can't remember what it was. Some raid.
Was it Judge?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, that's.
I used like a Brook team and I would just die a couple of times to get rid of things.
Oh my god.
I only needed 8. I only needed 8 copies. I had a shitload of books. It's fine.
All right, good.
Oh my
All right, so
god.
Nah,
we're kind of approaching that hour mark now. I want to kind of like end this podcast off with a question that like we had received ages ago. Everyone talks about Legend Chopper. I'm fairly sure we can. Okay, don't sigh.
Chopper's doctoring.
Oh my days.
Oh,
Oh my.
Support
so-
Chopper.
All right, relax. Let me speak. So, Legend Chopper, right? Everyone's assumption is that he's gonna have like that captain action where it lets him go into either one of his forms, right?
That would be awesome.
Bandai, that's what everyone wants. If they don't give that to us, everyone's raging.
Yeah.
Obviously, let's assume that Bandai doesn't give that to us. What do they make Legend Chopper? What's his captain? What's like? Let's discuss what a Legend Chopper would be if it didn't have that captain effect or captain action that would give him more
Okay, I could see it being like a utility sort of deal, like Shirahoshi, where it's like a full minus paralysis. You know what I mean? Just like
Yep.
Just as a doctor,
yeah.
clears certain statuses. So
Oh,
they
I
could
don't
still
know.
do that. They could still do that as like a dual character or captain effect. If they make him a dual character, then you go like him as his doctor form, and like in Monster Chopper or whatever. But like when you
Yeah.
switch between them,
that's
it
actually
gets rid
that's
of like
a-
certain things.
that's good. That's a good idea. Instead of having like that, the generic. Give him 7 different forms.
And maybe
Dual
make,
unit, kind of like Big Mom style.
Yeah.
it like when he's in Monster Chopper form, he bypasses defensive effects with normal attacks.
Yeah,
thing. I was also thinking the buff. I don't know if it's on global yet. I don't think it is, but the buff where you get no healing, that buff could be
Yeah.
removed by Legend Chopper. The one that's on V2 or Raid Big Mom.
I reckon the Legend Chopper that removed like what is it, recovery bind? Is that the that's the fucking
Recovery
that's the-
bind is the limit
but like
break
the
ability one.
like the one that the Larpins always give you. The,
Yeah, that's recovery bind.
Yeah, it's
That's
recovery.
Sure.
recovery. My brain, but yes, like completely removing that like would make sense for a Legend Chopper.
I think Six Split Shira does it by like 10 turns.
It's
Yeah.
15, I think.
Damn.
It's really good.
No, but
fuck,
I could
what
see
was-
Chopper being a like either complete like that dual form Chopper where it's similar to V2 Big Mum, where it's like
Yeah.
the one unit but different kinds of things, either a Doctor form or a monster form. Doctor form is pure utility essentially. Monster form is like like a big attack boost, like it
I ha-
bypasses barriers and stuff.
I have to say though, healing it was useful like 2 years ago, but now
Yeah.
like
Not
we pretty much
anymore.
kill
Well,
the
that-
bosses like in the first turn.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have to be healing. Like it could be like paralysis reduction,
Yeah.
seal reduction.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Just stuff along those
Like
lines.
bind, despair, special bind, kind of like on those kinds of parts where like
Poison.
poison would be actually a really smart one in terms of
We
like
still don't have a legend or a character that reduces orb seal with their special.
I don't
That'd be
think it's that big of a deal personally, but if they did, it'd be okay.
Yeah, I
When
tell
you-
you why you don't think it's that big of a deal because most of the characters that we
Yeah, most legends fucking need
Reduction.
orb seal.
Yeah, true.
when you're the orb seal, is that like a negative orb in terms of damage, or is that a
it's like an
a
empty.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
empty.
so it's,
Yeah, like
yeah,
a-
that's irrelevant then at that point. You just build for
Yeah,
that.
true.
One thing that I always never knew, I'm pretty sure it's neutral damage, but what damage do you get from a bomb orb?
I
It's
thought it was
neutral.
neutral as well.
Neutral,
Yeah.
I'm fairly
Because
sure.
like the orb itself looks like a negative orb because it's like it makes the shadow under your character like black and like dark. So I
Yeah.
always thought it was a negative orb, but the damage seems neutral to me.
I think it's a neutral orb.
Yeah. Very weird. Did you guys see the new debuff that's in the game?
No.
No.
I posted it in our Facebook group chat last night. But
Yeah, I would have been asleep, my dude.
the new island on Japan, the 6+ Douglas Bullet Super Evolution Island, when you get
Ooh,
to the
yeah.
final boss stage, there is a new debuff that removes all cumulative damage that you've stored on your specials. So this includes
That's
V2
crazy.
Katakuri, includes V2 Katakuri, includes
V2 Cutter.
I believe it would include V2 Doflamingo and also Rare Recruiter Lisabello, I think would be in that pool of
Damn.
characters. It's
That's-
bullshit.
Dude, they keep it like Doffy already got like
Doffy's dead.
Yeah, they literally destroyed Duffy because they're like barrier. Now they're just
I,
like
I
the
finally
side-
have him too.
it's over. He's useless now.
I assume that would also get rid of damage stored in Intalk as well.
Inhawk would lose it as well. V2
Yep.
Cutter would definitely lose it as well.
So yeah, that's a new debuff that's in the game.
That's
I mean, it's a
ridiculous.
smart. I mean, it's a smart debuff. Like in terms of like you're thinking about other things they could potentially debuff. Like I didn't think of that. Like to
Yeah.
remove that kind of forces you to use the characters now that I mean, like V2 Cutter, the goat. Like that.
I mean, yeah,
that
you
boy
just
does
stall,
crazy
and
damage.
then when you get to the boss stage, here's 18 million damage plus 6 million from
Yeah,
the special
plus too much. Like that's
plus
all it
multiple
is.
attacks. Yeah, it's
It's
a bit
actually
much.
too much damage. But
Yeah,
Stalling though. Ugh.
shut
Eh,
up.
In 2019, come on.
yeah, just
Yeah.
use carrot.
You know what?
Just use
I would
carrot.
trade you my
Yeah,
It's
just
just
carrot,
Trevor.
Poppy.
Carrot, Trevor.
Poppy. I will right now. I will trade you my V2 Kata for your carrot.
I'm
Easy.
good. Thanks. I'm good.
Easy.
Do you still not have V2
Carrot
Cutter?
is- No, I've done 70 multis. That's
Oh,
like,
bro, do you want one of my 7
Yeah,
boots?
Cobby's got
Oh, yeah.
plenty to pass around.
Hey, all right, you need to relax, okay? We're roasting
That's a
over
pause.
me.
That's a pause.
I'm not passing nothing around, Damn. But I think that, comes to an end of the first episode. I think that went quite well. Had a pretty good discussion. We didn't really talk about anything on our list, but I think that's good. at the
No,
same
I-
time.
We got through most of it, I think.
Yeah,
Our
I
list
was
is
looking.
sort of outdated as because we
Yeah,
did
list
write
is
that up
way
like a week and a
outdated.
bit ago.
Too much news happened in the last
If
fortnight.
you guys have any specific topics about certain characters or islands or just topics in Treasure Cruise itself, or even outside of Treasure Cruise or any other gachas, let us know in the
Even like the
comments,
One
or-
Piece anime and like even the film Stampede when that comes out too.
Oh, we're going to see that in a couple of weeks. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, Papa, you coming?
Nah.
Bruh, bruh, come on.
But like what Todd said, leave it in the comment of the video. Good, great,
Also,
perfect,
yeah,
the
Kobe
YouTube
just
channel.
posted in the chat here the Q&A viewer questions. So you can submit your questions for the next episode via anchor.fm/good-great-perfect. The link to that will be down below in the description, as well as probably like a pinned comment in the comment section as well.
Yep.
So you guys can go ahead and check it out. Also, if you guys want to check out the socials for all the hosts, make sure to go check the description as well.
That being said, I've been Captain Poppy.
And your mum's your dad.
Toadski. Oh
Wait,
my
whoa,
days.
whoa.
See you guys next time.
Catch us later.